I'll walk you through it. It's fine because we're live right now. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Sports Group Podcast. My boy Matt again. This is probably, I would assume, our second to last episode. Maybe we have one more during finals week. Not sure. Maybe.
I don't see why not. Yeah.
So we'll see how that works. But
Yeah.
there definitely is going to be one next week. I know last week we couldn't do it because we had my guy here at the Yankee game. Sadly, I couldn't go. But
Yeah. Loser.
we're actually going to talk a little bit about the Yankees and some NBA playoff stuff because we didn't get to talk about that last time. So let's get straight into it. Obviously, I think if today was a 7 o'clock game, our reactions would have been different. We probably would have had more of a rant than discussing this. But we can't look at today as, obviously Yankees won 12-6 and say we're back. No, we're not. I still want to talk about the other losses I guess we've had. You've obviously seen some of the struggles we had. I want to kind of get your just opinions on what are some of the issues that's going on right now.
Yeah, man, it's just a bad team right now.
Fourth place team, by the way, guys.
Yeah, fourth place team. I don't know. You see the lineups, like you see it's 1 through 5 or 1 through 4, depending on the day. It's very solid. And then if it's 5 through 9 or 6 through 9 on the other days are like the worst lineups you've ever seen. Like the Yankees used to do things where their lineup was either at least 1 through 8 or 1 through 9, pretty efficient. And now we're getting to the days where it's like we're a National League team where our pitching is really, really good, but our hitting is like pathetic. And you can't compete in the American League without a full lineup because even the bad teams still have some decent hitters, so they can score a lot. So now, the Yankees are losing games 6-1, 7-1. It's embarrassing. But I don't know. It's just bad.
I think one of the issues that I've been kind of seeing on social media, and I've definitely been a big advocate for, which you kind of touched on, that 1 through 4, 1 through 6 would be good, but then the other ones wouldn't. I think a lot of the blame, you could say some things on the players, you could say something on Hal, you could say something on Boone. I think this all honestly falls on Brian Cashman, for sure. His construction of the team has been poor recently. Not recently, like almost. He's either always been too right-handed, I remember recently, or he started fixing that, but he would get strikeout machines. There's always something, and he's just, oh my God. I don't even know what to say about Cashman because he tends to pull a lot of great moves, but I think he has so many bad moves that it overweighs the good moves. For example, listen, Volpe playing with us and leading off, I think is fine, even though he's had his struggles early in the season. He's been pretty good as of recent. Right now, he's hitting 228, which obviously isn't good, but
it's a big jump from where he was. I think I don't know how many games it is, but I know his slash line was like 292, like a 4-on-4 on base percentage, like something decent OPS. Like he's getting there.
I think in the last
I was a big, I was like, oh man, this guy stinks, overreaction.
I've been a little patient with him. I'm not gonna say I've been dramatically patient with him, but I just look at it as, you look at Volpe and I think I saw a stat today. For the last 14 games, his on-base percentage is 358, something like that, which is obviously, it's good. He's getting on base. I do like that he's obviously been really good at the bat in terms of being patient. Like he walks. Like today, he had 2 walks, but then 2 hits. So that's really good.
He had a good day today.
Huh?
He had a good day today.
Yeah, he did. But my issue with him, which I think I always kind of said was not that I don't want him to be our starting shortstop, but I always watch other YouTubers and other people talk about like the Yankee prospects and team. A lot of people always viewed him as a second baseman more than a shortstop because if you look at the metrics, which usually I'm not a fan of metrics, but he has all the tools to be obviously a great defensive player. Just his range isn't as good as someone like Peraza. We've always said Peraza is the best shortstop in our system, defensively. And I always said, why not have Peraza at short and, Volpe at second and make him our second baseman because I don't know if you've seen. I think before today, the last 3 games, he's had an error.
Yeah, but I mean, those are just just stupid errors. There wasn't like range or anything.
No, yeah, but like, it's just I don't know, like
not getting the glove down or a bad bump, but
yeah, no,
he has to make.
I do want to keep, and this is gonna obviously go a little more longer. I do want to somehow eventually keep Peraza up because I don't want, like, no offense, I don't want Josh Donaldson to come back. I hope he stays on his vacation and gets a lot of great massages and gets the time off he needs. But I just don't want Josh Donaldson back. And then obviously Judge was recently slumping. He was around the 240s and he had 3 hits today. With a scary, I did see the clip, what happened. That was like kind of scary, but luckily he was DHing, so he was able to still be in the game. I think if he was playing the outfield, he would probably be done for the day. They'll probably just, evaluate him or whatever. I feel like tomorrow they might give him a day off just because how Boone is. Rizzo obviously got it off to an amazing. Well, he didn't, I don't want to say, yeah, he did get to an amazing
Mhm.
start and then slumped a little. And obviously today he got 2 hits, so now he's hitting 292, which is I'll take it. LeMahieu obviously took the collar today, he's still hitting 280.
Yeah,
But
he got robbed of a home run.
yeah, my oh yeah, I seen that the
Yeah.
long sack fly. But my issue, obviously, tourist, whatever, but is with Willie Calhoun, even though he had 2 hits today, uh Cordero, IKF, and Hicks. They just I don't see them as people who are going to be impact players like come playoff time if we make it to the playoffs. As of right now, it looks like we're not. But like hypothetically, if we turn this around, I just don't see them being factors. And that's my issue because Cashman, he can run a great let's think about all the past things he's done. He could have easily, I won't say easily, but he could have had Bryce Harper or Manny Machado on his team, but he didn't. Right? We could have like I mean, obviously I know that they had Stan at the time and look at Stan hurt. Like it's just a lot of the moves he makes is questionable sometimes. So I really want to blame all the struggles on Cashman and I honestly don't know how he can turn this around because that was gonna be kind of my next topic. I know one of the issues has been hitting. I know you saw the Talking Yanks stat that we're like top three, top two in pitching,
Mhm.
but our offense is like bottom of the league, like 28th or
Yeah.
something like that. And yes, I know that Hermang isn't good. I don't care what anybody says Hermang isn't good. Clark Smith isn't good. I don't care that last game he had 3 runs, but they were all unearned. He sucks. Um, Burrito, I mean, he's just a fifth starter. He's not really going to be a factor in the playoffs. You need a 1 through 4, which I fully trust is going to be Cole. Hopefully, Carlos Rodon comes back and he pitches well eventually when he comes back. Uh, Nestor, I mean, he'd probably be our fourth, I think. And then Sevy, I hope he comes back healthy and plays well. I'm fine with our pitching when they're healthy and eventually. I think I trust Cashman to fix a bullpen by the time it's playoff, which I'm not saying he's fixing, but in terms of, getting some lefties, getting rid of some people who we don't really need, like we're just
Yeah,
had
I mean
enough right now.
you're missing Canely and Trevino.
Yeah,
So
like
those
I
are two
trust him with
bigger
that.
arms and stuff that are
There's no
just
way we
there.
go to if we make it to the playoffs that we only have one lefty. He's gonna figure that out, like
Yeah.
getting rid of probably some of the bums as righties and then getting
Mhm.
some decent lefties. So for some reason, even though he's made a terrible
Oh,
move,
and Johnny. I forgot about Johnny's not
oh
there.
yeah, like
Mhm.
with the trade with Montas, which is a terrible trade because you traded for injured pitcher. He's terrible, but he's probably gonna be your fifth starter if he ever comes back. Um, as bad as the pitching moves he's made in the past and good ones, I'm fine with the pitching from now to October. He can, but my issue has always been offense, and I don't trust him on making a big offensive change because we thought
Mhm.
about getting Brian Reynolds, right?
Yeah.
And I know we weren't really so high on him, which I'm glad he's proven us wrong, but you saw he signed the extension.
Yeah.
We're not gonna get him because they're gonna keep him.
Mhm.
Ian Happ was a target last year, but then we chose Benny, who was a rental, and we didn't re-sign him. Like, if you're gonna at least get Benny, I feel like you should re-sign him.
Yeah,
Like, there's no
especially when
point
you
of
had
having a
no
rental.
prospects coming up or anything like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So it was either you were gonna trade for Happ, who you could have had for this year, or you were gonna re-sign Benny. That should
Mhm.
have been your plan. But Cashman obviously didn't pick Happ, so he picked Benny. You didn't re-sign him. So Happ resigns with the Cubs, and they're probably not gonna trade him. The only realistic outfield option help that I see because Cabrera is fine with me, but he's hitting 216. I would rather him at the utility position than everyday left fielder. And I've
Mhm.
said this from before the season. I did change my mind a little bit because he was playing decent, but I still want him to be a utility guy.
Yeah.
So the only realistic option I could see is if the Angels are so bad at the trade deadline that they finally decide, listen, we got to blow this up. Like we got to get rid of Trout, not Trout, Shohei because he's gonna walk, and maybe we
Mhm.
might have to get rid of Trout. But like
Mhm.
we'd have to give up a million pieces for them. So I don't know who can save us. Like I was gonna ask you if you have any thoughts of how we can turn this around because I don't see any solution as of now.
No, I mean, there's nothing's gonna happen now. It's not gonna be
No, no,
until
no. I'm
what,
not
like
like
August or anything
in
like
terms
that
of
that they make trades or end of July, whenever the
yeah.
trade deadline is. So I'm not gonna do anything with that yet. Honestly, I think Yankee fans would like hate me for this, but I blame Aaron Judge. You're supposed to be the guy, and I mean, what is he hitting right now? What's his average?
He is hitting 267.
267, and you paying him 40 million dollars. $40 million at 267. That's supposed to be your guy. I mean, like that's supposed to be the team right now. Obviously, he did it last year, but that was a lot last year. And I think he had 3 hits today, so that means he was
Yeah.
only hitting like what
He was
240
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
or
he was hitting
two.
240. I
Yeah,
think
so
on the
I mean,
dot.
yeah, he can't be doing that. He can't be slumping like that. LeMahieu's been fine. Rizzo's been fine.
Tor's been okay. 266.
At
Yeah,
this
three
at
hits
this
today.
point, I blame the players. I can't even really blame Boone. The only thing that I
I
blame
can't blame
Boone
him
with
either.
is and this is just because he's been gifted so many good teams, he's really never had to manage in his life. Um, that well, you know, you have a bat 6 through 9. They got to do what they did today, where they bunted. They like try to do like little cheat, like little things to you
Get
know,
on base.
get their offense, get on base and get their offense clicking. So he can't just expect there that Willie Calhoun or Frenchie Cordero, who had his Mickey Mouse run, is going to come up and hit, you know, like 3 home runs again. Like it's just not going to happen. So they're gonna have to do little things like that. They have some guys down there in the minor leagues that can hit, I guess, right now, you know, but I mean, it's too early to tell with that too. And obviously everybody's going to overreact, underreact. Health is another thing. You need Bader back. Bader, that's, you know, that makes you 1 through 6 better. And then if Stanton comes back in July, then that's
That
one
would
through
help a
seven
lot.
better. So I mean, yeah, they definitely have some issues. I don't really get what they're doing with Peraza. It seems like they like don't want to play him. It seems like they don't want to play him because if he does well, then they have to keep him up. But because they have Josh Donaldson, I think they're doing like stupid stuff like that, where it's because they know Josh Donaldson's going to come back and has to come back, that they're not going to play Peraza so much. Because if Peraza does end up hitting 300 or 250 or 270 while he's up here and producing, then they're going to have to keep him up here, and they're not going to want to sit Josh Donaldson because they believe that his bat's going to come back. You
But
know?
that's why I blame Cashman, because he
Yeah. No, I blame
did you
Cashman
did
too
you
the
see
most. Yeah.
the Hicks video I sent you?
Yeah. I
The
didn't watch
funny
it yet, but it was funny. I was
it,
like,
what I love is that like you don't even like, you can be a casual fan. I think everyone who has at least watched some Yankees baseball, watch Aaron Hicks. If you have some type of common sense, I think maybe Brian Cashman might be the only one who thinks this, which even I don't think he thinks this. Aaron Hicks and Josh Donaldson are terrible. You can't change my mind. You can't.
yeah.
Unless they start, like, maybe starting tomorrow all the way October, start hitting 250 plus. They are terrible, and
Yeah.
nothing's gonna change my mind. And you're keeping them because of money. Like, look what was it? The Diamondbacks, I think it was, did with Bumgarner. You just DFA'd him. They didn't care about the money. Look what Steve Cohen did last year with Robinson Cano, I think it was.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't care. You're the New York Yankees. You should just get rid of the people who are not doing good, so you could bring up people who can do good, like you said, like possibly if a Peraza plays well. And guess
Mhm.
what? If Peraza doesn't play well, that's better than what Josh Donaldson is giving us. I'd rather
Yeah.
that than, and then maybe you
At
could
least
figure
it's a
something
younger
out.
player.
Yeah, and if you want to send him down and bring somebody else up, again, Josh Donaldson, what is he going to give you? Defense? Peraza could give you that.
Yeah, the thing that I don't get with Cashman and what reporters like Heyman and they would all be like, oh, like if the Yankees let Cashman go, million like every team would line up at the door for him. I don't get how he's regarded as such a good baseball person. He didn't do anything for the dynasty teams, and he just took over teams that were great in the late 90s. The core was there. You could barely screw that up, and everybody wanted to be a Yankee then. Then when he really took over and really started having to make decisions, they didn't do anything from 2003 to 2009. Like that, they were horrible. And now they come back. When we were younger, they used to have great hitting, no pitching, so they'd lose every series. Now they have great pitching and no hitting, so now they still lose every series. I mean, I don't.
Need a balance.
He's the only one that could get away with signing Jacoby Ellsbury, signing Brian McCann, signing Aroldis Chapman to that big deal, signing Zach Britton to eat all that money, signing Aaron Hicks, trading for Josh Donaldson. He's the only GM to get away with that because manages the New York Yankees, who have the money to unfortunately we have the money, so it kept him a job, so that's it. He's not a good GM. Not a lot of teams just sign up at the door for him. He doesn't really draft well. We've had barely any prospects. Most of our top 10 prospects suck, except for a couple of guys that have come through the system. But I mean, when you look at teams like the Astros and how they were built, and then when you notice that guy who built the Astros leaves, go to the Orioles. Now look at the Orioles. All of a sudden, their talent is starting to really pick up, and you're really seeing like what good GMs do. So I think Cashman is way in over his head. I don't think he was ever good. I think he's just lucky that the Yankees can spend money and eat money. He was wrong to go for cheap and trade for Stan. I love Stan. Giancarlo Stan's a huge piece of this team. They can still win a World Series with him on the lineup, but he needs to be healthy. But if I'm picking Bryce Harper over Giancarlo Stanton 10 out of 10 times. Like not even picking him one.
I don't even want to say because he can stay healthy because obviously he's hurt right now, but like he can actually play the outfield. I'm not saying that Stanton can't, but it's just he kind of can't because when he does, again, a little injury.
You were jogging to second base and you pulled your hamstring. You were decelerating to second base and you pulled your hamstring.
Like you never the issue with what's this called? Him playing the outfield sometimes too is that he doesn't really run sometimes. Like I feel like Bryce Harper would run for some of the balls, and then Bryce Harper, he's a lefty. Like I don't understand how you didn't go for Bryce Harper. It still blows my mind that they didn't pull that. Like it's frustrating. I'm gonna be honest. And like again, Brian Cashman does a lot of great things. Because I don't want to like fully bash him, but it's just some of the obvious moves is in front of you.
I'll fully bash him. He's done nothing good. What has he
No,
done good?
no,
No, tell me what he's done good. Tell me what he's done good.
I
You can't
mean,
say Clay Holmes. Clay Holmes is horrible now.
I mean, he's okay. He's not
Horrible.
let me see his ERA right now. 3.72.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
for the
mean,
bullpen, that's not good.
no, yeah. that was another
He
thing I was thinking
traded
about
Gio
too.
Urshela. I don't think Gio
That
Urshela is outstanding, but he's
I'm
better
still
than Josh Donaldson
I
and
am
cheaper than Josh
I'm
Donaldson.
still mad about that about Gio because he is an amazing player who that's probably is funny. Since 2017 to now, we've gotten obviously rid of some players, and the only player that I've been like kind of like, damn, we really got rid of them was Gio. It wasn't like that with Didi. I didn't really mind that we got rid of Didi because I knew eventually they were going to try to go for not go for a shortstop, but figure that out with again Volpe coming up, which took forever to get him up. But Gio was the only person I was like, why would you get rid of him? Like, what was you thinking?
I mean,
just DFA Sanchez.
Yeah,
Like,
you could have done that. When you look at is it really hard to give Garrett Cole $36 million? No, we could have done that. We could have closed our eyes and handed him a blank check. Is it really hard to go get Carlos Rodon, who's not even pitching because he's always injured? He's very good. He's a top 10 pitcher, but I didn't really even want him at the deadline last year because he's always hurt. I remember on the White Sox, he was always hurt. Never pitched.
I think the Giants was the only time he was healthy, right?
Yeah, and of course, look, that's the year that he could opt out and sign his new little contract.
Funny,
it's the same thing with Aaron Judge. They get their good year, sign the little contract. And then they all start.
A few times. The
so it's not hard to give it's not hard. His job is not hard. He's got the easiest job in baseball because he could spend a lot of money, eat a lot of bad contracts when they don't work out, Hicks, Donaldson, and still be able to hand out money like it's nothing. So, I mean, I'm over him. I mean, and he's going to be here forever. It doesn't really matter. They'd have to in the next 4 years, not win a championship. And if they don't win a championship in the next 4 years with the team that like the superstars that they have, then shame on them. But yeah, I think it's all on him. It's on the players too, because they just they're mentally weak, they can't handle New York. He gets guys that can't handle New York, so.
Seeing Gallows and Sonny Grace is performing now, which again, they couldn't handle it in New York. And it's just, like you said, if it was any other team and Cashman was doing all this, he would have been
fired years ago. He'd have been fired 10 years ago because,
even if he wasn't on any other team, let's just say he's still on the Yankees. If this was George Steinbrenner on his team, you know how long ago he would have been gone?
Yeah.
Like, how is the only person who would accept the things that Cashman has done because they're friends? And it's just kind of annoying. You got to separate that. And it's tough. I really do hope they change it around, but I don't know how much longer they can do this. Kind of, being mid, because they're probably one loss away from being fifth place. Can you believe that they're?
Yeah. I mean, one, the American League East is really, really good. So I'm not going to bash them that much, but you're what, 14-11 they are. And I mean, you played for the most part, you've played pretty competitive teams. You haven't had a stretch where you got to face the Athletics or the Reds or some stuff, or the Tigers. So they have played very competitive. I'm not going to give them an out. I mean, they need to be better than what they are. They need to get healthier. And if they're not going to get healthier, then they need to start making decisions about really where's this team going to go in the future, because there's not, I don't think this free agent class is anything outstanding. I'm not sure, but I don't think
the only thing is pitching.
It's Ohtani. Yeah. So unless you're going to go throw a bag at Ohtani, which, I mean, now's the time to do it. Honestly, I mean, they're not going to, but now would be the time to do it, because you're going to lose. You're going to lose Josh Donaldson. The only issue with that is Stanton.
Yeah.
What do you do with that? Because Ohtani can't play the field. So
I wish they could trade Stan, but I think he has a no trade clause, right?
So yeah, he has a no trade clause. So I mean, you're not going to.
That was a bad move. Not a bad move, but it's just man, Harper would have solved so much.
It's not the only thing that makes it a bad move is that he's primarily just a DH. If he could really play the outfield, then it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
But the fact that he could really only play DH kind of takes you out of the Ohtani, because you have a DH, and I mean, you can't I would love to throw him out there.
Honestly, they're not going for Ohtani. I don't see them going for Ohtani. Really?
No, they'll inquire. I just don't think that they'll be. I think they'll give an offer, but they won't give the offer that's going to be competitive. They'll give some offer, be oh, we're the Yankees, come. You could come, but you're not going to. I mean, you're going to have to pay him. He's a million times better than Aaron Judge, so you're going to have to pay him. Judge got $40 million to be
hard. 50. I think he get 50.
Yeah. I think he'll be the first half a billion, half whatever it is.
Just because he pitches too.
If he was
yeah, I think he's gonna get his contract is gonna end up being exactly 500 for, let's say, 10 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Billion. And my last point I'm gonna do on the Yankees / baseball. I love that this. It's funny, you think about it. Baseball isn't like NBA or even college sports, where, for example, in the NBA, a lot of star players, when they're not succeeding, they want out in trades. In college basketball, when they're not going their way minutes wise or something, they enter the transfer portal. With baseball, they usually, the only way that they're not on the team is because the front office doesn't want them on the team. You rarely see
Yeah.
players leave because they don't want to. Like, for example, if we miss the playoffs this year, you're not gonna see any like Stan or Judge say or Cole, I want out, like trade me. I just don't see
Yeah.
that. It's funny that baseball is probably the only sport that the only way a player will really get traded, like yeah, some situation like the Gallows one, both sides were kind of mutual, but
Yeah.
you won't see a Judge leave in his 9-year contract because he wants to leave. It would be
It's either
because the
it's
office
either they
wants
get
to.
the contract done or it doesn't work out in like Soda where they trade him then, or like they get the contract works out, Reynolds they keep him. So it's I
Usually
agree
it's
with
just
you.
more they're more satisfied with the money than the actual playing. Like yeah, NBA they same way. They sign deals for the contract. Like for example, Melo resigning with New York. It was because he
Yeah.
wanted the money. He could have went to
Mhm.
Chicago back
Yeah.
in the day and did it. Same thing with Damian Lillard. You know Damian Lillard would have been better on any team, but he didn't because he wanted the money and loyalty
Yeah.
to Portland. You just want the money. Stop lying.
Mhm.
So it's funny that baseball is the same thing, but they don't actually say, "Oh, I want to leave now that I have the money." How NBA
Yeah.
does. And obviously, speaking about NBA, we're going to talk a little bit about the playoffs. Obviously, um, little thoughts and reactions so far slash predictions. We can't really predict Nets series and Nuggets series because those are already done. I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure everyone, it doesn't even matter. The thoughts were, we knew that the 76ers and the Nuggets were going to advance.
Yeah.
But right now, man, the Knicks 3-1. What's your thoughts on tonight? You think they close it out or
I mean, they should, but if they don't, they'll close out in 6. I mean, they're the better team than the Cavs. Like everybody was saying, the Cavs big man this, the Cavs big man that. They're scrawny. They're tall and scrawny. That's all they are. They're soft. Like the Knicks should kick their butts. I mean, Mitchell's horrible. I thank God the
I
Knicks
mean,
didn't trade for him.
whoa, hold up. There's no way you said thank God they didn't trade for him. You really think that RJ Barrett is better than Donovan Mitchell? Yes, he
I
had
mean,
two good games.
I mean, I would trade RJ Barrett for him straight up, but
I
that's
would
not
too,
the
yes.
trade. That's not the trade.
Yeah, they're
Why,
gonna
why
have
do you
draft
think the
picks.
Cavs are where they are right now? Because they're not deep.
I okay, I get
That's
that.
that's what separates the Knicks in this.
So my thing
And
is gonna be
Brunson's better than Mitchell, but Brunson's eliminated Mitchell last year, and he's going to eliminate him this year. So
Brunson is a great player, but I'm saying I think they should have pulled the Mitchell trade just because. Okay, I think
nope.
RJ Barrett was one of the
Nope.
pieces. There was gonna be draft picks and
five first rounders for that.
What are the draft picks gonna mean if you have Mitchell? You're gonna be a competitive team.
Yeah, for that, this would be us. This would be the Knicks.
No, it would not.
What do you mean?
How would it not?
What would our bench be? We have no bench. We couldn't be able to play.
But who else would be traded? Okay, so
it was
RJ
Obi,
Barrett.
RJ, Grimes, or Quickly, one of those two, and 5 first round picks. You're smoking. Yeah.
No,
You're
I
not
didn't
making
know they
that
were gonna
trade.
give up that much. Yeah, I mean, you got to give up.
They knew it was all Mitchell's fault because they knew he wanted to go to New York, so they asked more for New York than they did Cleveland, and they did ask for a lot from Cleveland, which is why they're bad. Cleveland, they're good. They're a good regular season team because not everybody they have to play hard. Cleveland had to play hard every single game, like the Knicks, pretty much play hard every single game. But the Knicks big men are just dominating them. And I said this a couple years ago. If Robert Mitchell played against the Hawks, the Knicks win that series. Clint Capella does not get as many rebounds for Trae Young to hit his 43s. What happened to your team last night? That's just not going to happen. Like.
I mean, I honestly, yes, you're right. There was a couple like Quentin Grimes you couldn't give up, Obi and them, but I just think if I would rather give up the RJ, maybe
nobody was against giving up RJ, but that wasn't the trade. It's not 2K.
No,
You're not going to fleece like it's 2K.
No,
it's Danny Ainge. You should know Danny Ainge better than anyone. Like,
of course, no. Danny
all he looks to do is fleece.
I'm very glad we have Brad Stevens right now, though. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, I mean, until 2 games when the Hawks come back and win the series.
It's not gonna happen. I listen. I am rooting for the Knicks. I'm gonna be honest because I do want to see.
Well, the NBA needs the Knicks. If the NBA doesn't have the Knicks or the Lakers, there, it doesn't matter.
No, I know. Yeah, I want them to go to the conference finals because I want it to be Celtics and Knicks, so that hopefully maybe I could go to a game like in New York or something like that. It would be nice.
That'd be a fantastic series.
And
Knicks 3-0 against the Celtics in the regular season, like.
So honestly, I know Mitchell had a bad game, but his first game, I think
Mitchell is a good player. It's just for the trade that was happening, it's not worth it. And you're seeing why.
I don't.
Because Cleveland can't get better. This is Cleveland's team. Nobody's going to Cleveland. LeBron couldn't get people to go to Cleveland. Donovan Mitchell's not getting people to go to Cleveland.
No, you're right. It's crazy how LeBron like. He's LeBron and he's had great success with Miami and the Lakers, like trying to get stars, but it's hard to get people to Cleveland. And I do feel bad that Mitchell wasn't on the Knicks because, like,
no, I do too.
Because again, he wanted to be in New York. He's a star player. It's just my issue is the Knicks. Listen, I give them a lot of credit with Brunson. A lot of people doubted them with the signing,
Mhm.
not that I didn't doubt them, but I didn't support them. I just said
I
that's
just
true
thought it
for
was
them.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
it didn't like
yes,
do
that was
anything
my
crazy.
exact reaction.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was like, okay, that's cool. You didn't give
Yeah.
him like 35 million or something
Mhm.
like it was. It's cool. Um, he's a great player. I do love his game, and obviously Mitchell is a pretty
Mhm.
great player. Randall, he has his games, but it's just RJ Barris. I'm sorry, he's terrible.
Yeah, he never
I'm
developed.
glad. I'm glad he had two good games though. Right now, I hope he continues it. But
Yeah.
other than those two games, like
No, he's such a good
he's
kid. It's just his game didn't like get to the next like the 3-point shooting. If he ever got to that 3-point shooting level, then it would be a different like he'd be a different breed. But
yeah, and he's a lefty. Usually lefties are shooters, and
yeah.
he's like not a strong lefty. So
Mhm.
I do pray the Knicks win, and I do think they're gonna win. I just for some reason
They
I,
should
I
win
hope it's
tonight,
tonight.
but
I feel
I
like they
still
might
think
lose
like
tonight just
yeah,
because
just
it's in
because it's in
Cleveland.
Cleveland, yeah.
Donovan,
But
I
I mean,
feel like
even
would
it's
have.
not like Cleveland was loud. Like the Knicks smacked
No,
them
I'm
in
not
Cleveland,
saying
but
that.
oh no, I'm just saying
Home
like
field.
it's not like yeah, like I know it's home court, but I don't really view it like home. I mean, tickets were going for $26 tonight at
Yeah,
that game, so
that's true. That's true. I
like
mean, I don't know why. I just got a feeling that Mitchell's gonna have a bounce back game and they're gonna win, but then the Knicks are gonna close it out at home. But it would be nice the Knicks just to clean it up now and just go to the next round because I do see
yeah.
the Knicks winning regardless. It's in 5 or 6, doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Um, the Heat and Bucks, I am praying and praying and praying that the Heat win. I want the Heat
Yeah.
to win, and I think they actually might win just because it's a 3-1 lead. Because
Mhm.
I want the Bucks to be so mad that they lost in the first round that they trade Giannis. I'm tired of seeing Giannis in the East. Yes, I'm a Boston
I
Celtics
don't think you're
fan.
getting that one, buddy.
I hate going against Giannis every time because he's such an amazing player. So I want them to just blow it up, even though I know they won't. But just I want some type of issue. So and I do think that he will win just because 3-1. If it was
Yeah.
2-2, 3-2, I'd say the Bucks would still win this, but I don't see that. And then obviously Nuggets, they won, but to me they're a fraud team. They're probably going to lose to the Suns in my opinion. I don't know if you think the Suns will lose that series, Nuggets and Suns.
No, the Suns should win that.
Yeah, the Nuggets have
Yeah.
always them and the Grizzlies to me have always been frauds. They can have
Mhm.
a great regular season, but they're always going to lose. Obviously, Lakers are up 3-1. I pray the Lakers win just because I don't like John Morant, but I think they're
Mhm.
going to win
Yeah, they
again
should
because they're up
win. It's
3-1.
LeBron.
Yeah, I don't see
Tough to be
teams.
a 2 seed and face LeBron.
Yeah, I don't see teams coming back from 3-1 no more. The Warriors and Kings though. I know everyone in the world is going for the Kings, but I do want the
I want the
Warriors to win
Warriors
that.
to win.
Do you?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
do too.
I don't like the Kings.
I just want them to be frauds again too. I want to just
Yeah.
look another fraud. So it would be nice to have them
Yeah.
win that. And it's 2-2. This is the one series I say I don't know who's gonna win. Every other series so
That
far I
one
can
should
say
go
I
to
know.
7. That one really should go to 7.
So I really don't know who's gonna win. I hope it's the Warriors, but then of course Celtics and Hawks they sold last night, but I think they'll close it out.
I think that's also going to go to 7.
I think they're gonna close it. I mean I am a little biased, but they are going. No,
It's
was
in
it at
Atlanta
home?
now.
It is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's going to go 7. The thing that's annoying is that, and we saw it with the Knicks, and then when he beat the Sixers too, all that needs to happen is Trae Young does what he did last night, and it doesn't matter what the heck you do offensively. If you can't stop him on the defensive end, it's going to be a long night for the Celtics.
Jalen Brown, I don't know if you saw that play. He should have never been backpedaling against Trae
Oh
Young.
no, I agree. Yeah, yeah, but I mean, but didn't they blow it? Like, weren't they up 10 or something like that, and they went on a 10-2 run or 12-2 run?
I
Like,
listen. I think they'll make adjustments. They have to win. There's no way they go to 7 games. And
if they do, then it's scary because that's all you need is a Trae Young 50-piece game and it's over.
I was gonna say if somehow some way Boston loses, I am worried for the offseason because I can see Jalen Brown finally saying he's out. Because I know you've heard some of the rumors about him.
Yeah.
I think Jalen Brown won't be on this team next year if we lose, and I want him on this team. But I just feel that either he's gonna get traded, he's gonna leave. I don't know what the situation is,
Mhm.
and I'm worried about our coach too because I do like his offensive style. I do miss Ime, but obviously he got suspended. And it would be a lot of changes that would scare me. So I do want the Celtics to win.
Mhm.
And then obviously it would be Celtics, 76ers. They've always had their numbers, even though Embiid is good. I just think that's all the Sixers would maybe have for that series. Embiid, Celtics.
Well, if Embiid plays, it's a lot harder for the Celtics because they don't have the big to. Nobody really has the big to ever.
No,
compete
yeah,
with
I mean,
him.
but we've always had the Sixers numbers, whether it's regular season, postseason. We've always figured out a way to still win, no matter if Embiid does good or bad. So I can see as long as the Celtics win the series, I can see them going to the conference finals. But the conference finals for me is interesting because I see it being at least the semifinals, Knicks and Heat. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you see
That'd
the
be really
same
good.
thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the Knicks could maybe win that series, but it's hard because of Jimmy buckets. Like he's a star
Yeah.
player. Like Brunson, I'm not saying he's a star, he is, but it's just you basically have Brunson versus Butler. Like in terms of star power, I'm not putting
Mhm.
RJ in that list.
Yeah.
But
But this is the thing though
the
with the
Knicks have a
Knicks
better
depth
defense.
is the Knicks like what's gonna go is the Knicks are facing teams right now that aren't deep and
You're right.
except unless they face Milwaukee. But even Milwaukee, if you take Giannis out, it's just an average NBA team.
Yeah,
Like it's
the Knicks will
nothing
beat them.
crazy. But I think the Knicks are just deeper right now than everybody, and their bench is playing. I mean, Quickly's not even playing outstanding this series, and each game the Knicks have had one player play, like one key player play horrible, and they've still pretty much dominated the entire series except for one day when they all played bad. So they should be fine. I mean, I see the Knicks winning the championship this year. There's no other way to put it. No,
Listen,
I don't think so. But I mean, generally, if the East shapes out where like it's kind of a path, like, and don't get me wrong, I kind of want to play the Celtics because I think the Knicks could beat the Celtics like in an Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, obviously, I could see Tatum going off too every game and calling it a day. But I mean, I like the way the Knicks are constructed right now. I don't think they're going to win an NBA championship, but I
yeah,
wouldn't be
maybe,
surprised if they get
maybe.
lucky and run into one, you know, like
Yeah.
and stuff, or at least make it or do something.
You
Like,
know how big this would be if the Knicks
oh my
even
God, if the
forget
Knicks
they win the
if they go
championship.
to
You
the Eastern
just
Conference Finals,
no,
it's going
I
to be
was gonna say
crazy.
forget that. Well, yeah, I mean, if you make it to NBA Finals, you
Yeah.
know how like I don't want to say easy, but how great slash easy it would be for free agency to like try to lure people
Oh
because
my
you always
God.
try to sell. Oh, it's New York, it's the Mecca,
They
but
just
some
need
people wouldn't
one
want to do
team to
it.
get close to do it so that way nobody has to go there and be the savior. They could just go there and like
Help.
take the team to that next level. Like, so I would love if somehow it turns out to be Lakers Knicks.
That would be. That was
The
always
NBA would go, that'd be the best thing for the NBA to happen. But
yeah. My conference
like
finals.
Lakers Celtics too would be cool, obviously.
I was gonna say for the West though, I think it should be obviously Warriors and Lakers playing each other. For some reason, I think the Lakers might win that if they play the Warriors. I don't know. I just feel like the if any year is gonna be the year, the Warriors will maybe break down this year. Not to the Kings maybe, but like if not the Kings, maybe the Lakers. I don't see them going to the finals again for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like and then eventually Draymond's gonna probably leave out, and I'm hearing that he said if they don't go to the finals, he's gonna leave. He's probably gonna be in Portland because Dame wants him, and he's just gonna go for the most money.
Yeah.
And then if it was Lakers and Suns in the conference finals, I just feel like LeBron is gonna be at another level because I don't know if KD's gonna be healthy, and then maybe Lakers in the championship or Celtics or maybe Knicks. And we'll maybe by next week we'll have more updates on how
Yeah.
brackets are going. But last thing I wanted to mention to you before we end the show was I don't know if you saw the Kawhi Leonard news.
Yeah. The torn knee or
What do
whatever
you
it
think?
is.
Like I don't know if you heard what Stephen A. Smith said about him. He said, "Oh, he should
The
just."
worst superstar, something
No,
like
no, no.
that.
He said, "Steve Ballmer should just force him to retire." He says that. What are your thoughts on like I guess his career as of right now and like what you think the team as the Clippers or Kawhi should do?
I
Like
think he's
just
always a what if. He's always going to be a what if. What if
like a
he was
Derrick
fully
Rose.
healthy for like I mean obviously he won his chip and did all that. I think load management hurts him. Well, you can't sit almost the entire year and then try to come out in the playoffs and gear it up to another level. That's just not your body can't do that. So I think load management's killing these guys slowly because same thing in baseball, same thing in not football really because football's just a lot of pounding, but baseball and basketball they try to do load management. The Yankees try to baby Stanton. They tried babying him for 3 years, and now it's coming back to bite them in the butt because he's getting hurt every time he moves his leg.
Yeah, boom, sitting players when they're healthy,
Yeah.
just and then.
So I think load management's actually taking a turn because their bodies aren't used to it. Their bodies aren't healthy enough. Their bodies aren't used to the wear and tear, and stuff. I'm not saying you got to kill them because if you look at LeMahieu, he's getting killed, and then you're actually missing him when it matters. But there used to be a better balance of and when you're really resting and when you're just resting to load management resting. So I just think with him that's the case. You can't, especially basketball, where like you're having that type of impact on your body every day, or not every day, but you need to have your body built up before you go into like the physicality of the playoffs for the NBA. Because let's be honest, the regular season is a joke.
It is.
They don't play hard in the regular season. Maybe certain games, a robbery game or something like that here and there, but
like a Christmas game or something like
that.
So
Something special they'll play harder. But like if not, their bodies are going through the motion and stuff like that. So I think that with Kawhi, it's just load management. I mean, maybe his body is weak. Maybe it's like a wear and tear. It's just something you can't control. But it seems like it's just he's one of the forefront players of load management, and he's always getting hurt. So like, what is it?
Either for the Clipper, are you like? I mean, you can't really trade him if he gets healthy because no one's gonna want him. So you kind of
some people always want him because he's a champion, and he has the ability. But yeah, I don't know. They're in a tough spot because they have two of the superstars when they are healthy. The Clippers easily could have ran through the West when those two guys are healthy. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's I feel so bad for Steve Ballmer.
Yeah.
Getting that team, and you had expectations for them. People thought they were going to go to conference finals and stuff, but the injuries obviously took a toll. But I hope the Knicks win tonight. I hope Celtics close out, and I hope the Yankees get better. Obviously we'll have another show next week, same time, same day and all that, Wednesday night.
Yep.
Maybe that might be the last one. If not, we'll do one the week after for finals week, and
Hmm.
then off to our big jobs.
Yes, sir, man.
I'm gonna hopefully try to eventually one day come back to podcasting, and hopefully I get my boy Matt. But last thing I want to say before we end off is a little shout out slash promotion. Obviously, I know we talk a lot about sports, but I know this Friday, if you're an Iona student, I know I'm gonna be there. I don't know if you are. Little fashion show. I'm definitely gonna pop out to that. I would definitely recommend people to go. Little shout out promotion, but we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.